during Ramadan, how can we improve our relationship with the Quran?
You know, that's a fantastic question, and I hope everybody out there is exploring everything they need to about developing a relationship with the Quran and strengthening that relationship. So the first thing that I tell students is it's all about learning how to pronounce Allah's words. Can you imagine if, Sheikh, you had a novel in any language, but you're trying to read through this novel and pronounce all the words, whatever language it is, and every single word is just being butchered left, right, and center.
You're not going to enjoy it.
And what's the author even going to think about? Like, I mean, you can't even read my book. You don't know my language. So the first thing for all Muslims is you have to learn how to recite. If you don't know how to recite, the month of Ramadan is the perfect and most ideal time to train yourself to recite. Why? Because everything is multiplied and blessed. Exactly. So you'll find yourself, if you focus on one short surah, don't be surprised if that one surah turns into 5 surahs a day because of the barakah of Ramadan. So the first thing is, it's all about the recitation. Now, how do you do that? So you will start off with learning some basic rules, right? So that would require you to at least know the Arabic alphabets and then pronunciation. What we say in Arabic, makharij, right? And then the second thing is the Prophet ﷺ taught us that زَيِّنُوا أَصْوَاتَكُمْ بِالْقُرْآنِ, like beautify your voices with the Quran. I love this narration because now I don't have to think that I need to recite like Mashari Rashid or an Imam of the Haram in order to be a decent reciter. But what I have to do now is ensure I'm pronouncing things correctly, and the rhythm and tone of my voice is my beauty of recitation to the Quran. And so that hadith reminds me that everybody has a unique tone and a unique voice. And you know, all of us praying Taraweeh and listening to the Hufaz, it's one of the most incredible things about being a Hafiz of the Quran is that with that repetition of reviewing and reciting, subhanAllah, some of our scholars say like Allah will bless you with your own tone, with your own voice. And that's how we got all of these like Mashari Rashids and Manshawis and Husays that came over time. Is where did their tone, where did it develop it? Did they compare their tone to someone else? No. It's just the repetition, the sincerity, and really working on recitation. And Allah just blessed a beauty with their voice that we all love. So we can all have that to a degree. This is the time to do it.
Of course, and it's very interesting. Almost every Hafiz has either a good or really good voice. And it's not because they were born with it or they were blessed. Sometimes we hear, oh, I wish I was born with that. But it's just the repetition of the hours. There's many people who take singing lessons and they start with a really bad voice and end up with a really good one. And it's just the repetition. And subhanAllah, like our teachers would tell us, Ramadan is the month of the Quran. So basically, stop your other lectures, stop everything else, just focus on the Quran. Now, we would see scholars like Imam Shafi'i, may Allah be pleased with him, that sometimes he would finish the Quran in the day and also in the night. So again, finishing it twice in 24 hours, that's not something that we could even fathom. We do a juz and we're like, okay, my throat's done, or we do 2 khutbahs. And it's funny, last month I did 2 khutbahs, and on the second I actually choked on the minbar for 5 minutes. And the whole crowd, I have 400 people looking at me, and my eyes are running, and I was just thinking, man, like how weak we are. But subhanAllah, when people hear these stories, then we hear, what about the hadith that says, do not finish the Quran in under 3 days or else you don't understand it. But we know there's a difference between the khatam, the recitation of the Quran for the sake of finishing it and practicing, and one of understanding. So Ramadan, it's not just about, okay, let's take a whole month for this one juz. This is really the month where we want to do the recitation as much as we can. We're not saying everyone has to finish even the Quran 10 times, but even finishing it once with proper recitation is better than, of course, finishing it 10 times, but you're just kind of mumbling it.
Yeah, that's really important to note. So the Prophet ﷺ's narration is that reciting the Quran in less than 3 days, you have not understood it. It really depends on what kind of khatam you do.
Exactly.
right? Whether that's the knowledge of the Quran as opposed to the recitation. So this is why many of these scholars were able to do that in one day.
Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah.